So was I right that you want to work with loss?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be tough. This is something that you've been working with for a while and not been successful. Is that right?
Not very successful.
Not very. Okay. Um, well, we can try it and see how we do. This is, after all, the advanced webinar. If this was the regular webinar, I'd say let's not take anything so complicated. So, do you want to just talk a little bit about the target so everyone is oriented?
So the target is I lost my daughter to cancer 21 years ago, and I have certain very disturbing memories around her treatment and her actual biggest one for me that I've had continuing problems with, although Dr. Manfield helped to get better, is watching her die. And yeah, it was, I mean, do you want me to go into detail about it?
No, but we're kind of picking what the target is, and it sounded like you're saying the target is her actual dying
Yeah.
and watching that happen.
Yeah.
Okay, and how disturbing is that now?
Ugh. Right now it's a 10.
Right. So just following the principles that we believe tend to work, I think we would have to assume that this must have a feeder because it's 21 years, it's a 10.
Right now it is. It's not always. Sometimes I think about it. I mean, when I worked with you, we got it down to about a 6.
Uh-huh.
But all
Yeah.
of a sudden, I haven't thought about this in a long time. And so all of a sudden I'm thinking about it and I'm there and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, so the whatever reduction we got was
Yeah.
not stable.
Mm. So whenever I think about it, it should be what we got down to, which was a 6.
Well, unless there's something, unless it's a feeder.
Feeder. Okay.
So the feeder doesn't have to be another loss.
Yeah.
The feeder may have something to do with helplessness. It may have to do with
Bingo.
uh-huh. So what are you thinking of?
I couldn't do anything to save her. I couldn't do anything to stop what the treatment was doing to her.
So when you say that, what do you feel in your body?
I just feel like I'm going to cry. Like I just feel so sad and
So physically, what do you feel?
in my chest and my stomach, but I feel kind of nauseous.
Nauseous and pressure in your chest and your stomach?
Pressure in my chest. Yeah. Like a,
Yeah.
yeah.
So let your mind float back to an early memory with the same sensation.
Okay. I have one.
And what's coming up?
When I was married to my first husband, he was an alcoholic, and when he would drink, he would get really violent and mean. And I felt that same feeling, that helpless feeling, like I wanted to do something, but I couldn't stop it.
So how disturbing is that memory now for you on a scale of 0 to 10?
The ex-husband,
Ex-husband,
that's probably like about an 8.
it's an 8. And
Does it have the exact same sensations?
The same sensations of like, I want it to stop. I can't make it stop. The only
No,
way.
the sensations in your body, in your chest
Oh,
and your stomach.
yeah.
So has it just become more disturbing?
No.
No, sometimes when people access those sensations, it becomes more disturbing. So you have an image right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that image, does that make it more disturbing?
Yes.
Okay. So how disturbing is it now?
It's a 10.
Okay. And do you have a PEF?
I do.
Great. So tell me what the PEF is. Tell me about it, and just go ahead and tap.
So on my deck, we have this beautiful deck at the bottom of a hill. The hill is covered with huge pepper trees, and it's just beautiful, like a wood, like being in the woods. And the deck has a long, narrow fountain on it
Mm,
with a ball on the top of it, and the water gurgles out the hole at the top and floats down. And there's
flash. Good.
a little area where the birds go to bathe themselves. And when they're in there, they are the cutest, most adorable things you have ever
Flash.
seen.
What kind of birds?
Yeah.
We get lots of finches, gold finches,
Uh-huh.
and we get lots of other kinds of finches,
Uh-huh.
House finches.
house finches. They're really cute. These are all small
Color.
birds. They're
What color are the
bright,
birds?
they're gold, and then there's a finch with red head.
Flash.
That's a house finch.
Mhm. And then we
And
get
they sing beautifully, don't they?
Oh.
Finches.
most beautiful songs. But the thing
Uh-huh.
that's the cutest thing ever,
Uh-huh.
when they
Flash.
get down inside
Good.
the water
Uh-huh.
and they start bathing themselves.
Yes.
They flutter down in there and
Uh-huh.
they sing and they just make me laugh.
Flash.
See, I'm making you laugh. I mean, they
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
so cute. And
Yeah. Flash.
what's really
Yeah,
cute,
now, I have a
Then-
bird feeder. Now I want to get a bird bath. That sounds
do
fantastic.
it.
So take a break and without thinking of any of the details,
Yeah.
see if you notice any change with respect to your ex.
My ex. Yeah, it's definitely down to, I'd say, a 7,
Mm-hmm.
maybe even a 6 with him.
Uh-huh. Okay. So go back to your finches and your bird bath.
Describing it,
Yeah.
yeah. So one of the cutest things they do is the little bubbly part that comes out the ball at the top of the fountain.
Uh-huh.
It's a little strong for their little feet,
Uh-huh.
so they stand on the bubbly part just off to the side, so it's flowing up their legs,
Yeah.
and they drink from it.
Uh-huh. Flash.
It's so cute to see them. I'm looking at it right now, actually.
Yeah, I can see.
Are
Flash.
there birds out there now?
Oh yeah, always, all day.
All day.
Oh, you're actually looking at the fountain
I'm
right
actually
now.
looking out the window and I'm describing what I'm seeing.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
Flash.
God. That's the king of PEFs, I think.
Right? Exactly.
Flash. Well, people often have their little cats or their dogs and they're jumping up on their lap as they're doing
Yeah.
the tapping. Flash.
What's really funny too is we get these giant crows that come and try to
Uh-huh.
feed, because we have a bird feeder. We have 2 bird feeders right next to hanging from a tree near the fountain.
Uh-huh.
So they'll eat and then they'll come over and bathe themselves. I mean, what a world, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Your place is like
laugh.
a spa and a restaurant.
That's
Right?
right.
Oh my God. So every once in a while, what happens is a huge giant crow will come and it will land on this fountain, which is very
Splash.
small. It's for the
Yeah.
little birds,
Yeah.
and it'll try to drink there, and it looks like a monster. Looks like a pterodactyl or something.
Splash.
And it's very precious. It's very, very sweet, funny. They just make me laugh all day. They're just hilarious.
Splash. Good.
I'm really jealous. I want to get something where, because
Do it.
the crows come, but my particular kind of bird feeder, if it's a heavy bird, it locks the door.
Oh,
Or a squirrel, it locks the door.
we have a thing, a squirrel protector on the
Yeah.
top of the bird feeders, and they're just little rungs off of the holes in the bird feeders, and it's a long tube. So yeah, you have to buy the right thing so that those squirrels can't get to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Splash. So take a break. And again, without thinking of any of the details, see if you notice any change.
In this
Okay.
memory of your ex.
Big change with the X. It's like down to a 4.
Huh.
Yeah.
And just notice what makes it as much as a 4.
I think maybe just because there's this feeling of I'm such a there's this it does okay, it's not rational, but of course they're not. It's this feeling of at the time, I'm such a nice, good person, such a good wife, such a good mother. Why, how can you do this? You know, how can you act like this around us? I mean, I know now the reason, but still that
Yeah.
was the feeling at the time, like, how can you hurt somebody who's so kind and good?
Yeah. So I would be remiss if I don't just check now. What do you feel in your body when you think of this now?
Yeah, like I started to get that tight, sick feeling in my stomach again.
Yeah. And just notice that. Let your mind float back to an early memory.
An early memory.
Same sensation.
Oh. Okay, I have one.
Great. From what age is it?
I think would probably be early teenage years.
Okay. And how disturbing is this one?
It's not up where the other ones were. It's more
Okay, we'll just toss it aside then. How about your stomach? Still same?
well, now that we tossed it aside, my stomach feels fine.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. So we got a memory that's not that disturbing.
Yeah.
But somehow tossing that aside takes care of your
Oh,
stomach.
no, you want to know about the ex-husband.
I'm just
You said go back to
I'm just wondering about the sensation in your stomach when you think.
the sensation in my stomach. Forget not thinking about a particular thing.
No, thinking about your ex-husband.
Oh,
Yeah.
thinking. Oh, okay. I thought you wanted. Okay, gotcha. Well, it feels like maybe about a 4 or 5, 4.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So I just want to explain my thinking
Yeah.
that everybody else share with everybody, including you, which is that, helplessness seems to be the theme here.
Yeah.
And in my mind, helplessness begins from a very young age. And so I'm just speculating
Okay.
that there may be a very early experience of helplessness that is triggered by this memory.
What if it's something that I don't remember, but I know
That's
how?
okay. You can, it's okay to say yes, even if you don't know what the memory is.
Well, it's something I know happened
Oh,
because my mother told me, but I don't remember it.
yeah, but you have an image of what you imagine happened.
Exactly. I could do a speculative image.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I mean, I have seen it in my mind.
Yeah. How disturbing is it?
It's terrible. It's a 10.
Oh, okay. So I think we're on the right track.
Yeah.
And how old were you when this happened?
I was 5.
Uh-huh. And does it give you the same sensations in your
Yeah.
body?
Yeah. And
Great.
it's that same feeling of like make them stop hurting
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So just go back to the bird feeder.
All right. I'm just looking out there.
That is a great PES.
Okay.
So who's out there now?
Wow.
Right now it's incredible because the thing is that when you get a bird feeder, you got to make sure that it's shallow enough for the little birds to get inside of it and get their whole bodies wet.
Flash. So
So
they don't just use their wings to splash the water up on them.
they'll get down inside, flatten their bodies, and then do like a little wiggle dance.
Oh, wow. Flash.
And then they splash water all over the place. We have to fill the water thing up halfway through the day because they use so much water. Oh my God.
Flash.
Oh, you know, it's really cute right now. There's a little teeny tiny hummingbird rested on the edge of the feeder, and it's just taking its little beak, going down inside the water and drinking.
Flash.
Flash.
So tiny and cute. Then the other birds come along and scare it off.
Do these birds ever do a communal thing where they splash each other?
I've never seen that.
Huh. Flash.
That's an interesting question. I'll have to look and see. And there's some birds who won't get in there with other birds.
Ah,
Interesting.
I don't blame them. There's some people I wouldn't get in a bath with either. Flash.
Yeah, like the goldfinches will all share it's a little square with water in it, and the goldfinches will share the square. But if the red ones with the red heads come, they're bigger, and the goldfinches fly away.
Flash.
They're all finches.
Well, we have other birds too.
No, I mean the big
yeah.
finches scare the little finches.
Yes, exactly. Also, they sometimes will peck each other. If one flies in and wants the space, they'll peck and say, I want a private bath.
Flash. So take a break.
Okay.
And again, without thinking of any of the details, check in with that 5-year-old memory.
5-year-old.
See if you notice any change.
It's so interesting that came up. The 5-year-old went down to maybe 5 or 6. It went down.
Good. That's a big change.
Down a lot. Yeah.
So just go back to finches.
Finches. Finches. I wish I could
Whoever's there.
Hummingbirds.
Hummingbirds. There's a bird called a chick something, or I can't remember what it's called, but it's brown. It's small and dark.
Chickadee.
Yeah, maybe. No, we don't get chickadees here because I'm in Pacific Palisades near the beach.
Flash.
There's lots of chickadees up here.
I know.
They don't come down to the Palisades, huh? They're too good for that. Maybe the Palisades are too fancy for them. They're like a little
Why don't your own kind stick to your own kind?
Flash.
Yeah, the hoity-toity birds. You know what we get, which is really funny, which I really love? birds don't, of course, but we get these gorgeous hawks.
Flash.
And actually, this is a very positive memory for me. I mean, thought for me, because first of all, they're so gorgeous to see up close and personal.
Yeah.
But it's
How big are they?
They're
They're
huge,
big.
huge.
Yeah.
Are they red tails or red shouldered hawks?
Red tail.
Red tail.
And they come flying in and they land and they sit in the tree over the bird feeders looking down like this. Reminds me of Wile E. Coyote or something.
Do they hunt birds?
Yes, that's what they're looking for. But of course, before they even get there, the birds have all flown away because they can feel them a mile away. They don't ever get a bird.
And you know, I have always wondered, around here we have mostly red shoulders, and they go all the time. I wonder, why do they do that? They're warning everybody that they're there.
Oh God, that's funny. Yeah, ours make a sound too.
And it's a very distinct, loud sound.
Flash. Good.
I love birds. I think they're so amazing. I mean, I don't love them enough to go bird watching. I don't love them that much.
You are bird watching.
I am bird watching in my own house.
That's right. You're bird watching. You're observing bird behavior. You're noticing territoriality. You're noticing their bathing rituals.
Yeah.
It's very efficient bird watching. You get them to come to you.
I get them to come to me by planting the suet and the feeders with the seeds.
Yeah. Flash.
It's the most popular activity in the country.
Is it?
Are you kidding?
Yeah. No.
Get a life, people.
Flash.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, Louis.
People watch birds. They have bird feeders. It's like 45 million people do it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
It's so joyful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are we going to take Louis's word for this?
Where's our fact checker?
Yeah. Flash.
Need the CNN.
Don't worry, I've never been known to be wrong.
We're going to start seeing the chat here light up with people who are checking on this.
Yes.
Flash. So take a break and see if you notice any change to the 5-year-old memory.
It's way down, way down. It's like almost non-existent.
Wow.
I mean, like if I focus in on the images, I can make myself feel bad again. But
oh, good. Do it. Do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're always we don't want people to kind of distract themselves from the image in order to feel better. We want them to be able to bring up, now the image changes a lot of times. It gets fuzzy or seems far away. That's what, but we don't want to. We don't want to get a false reading.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of what it is. It's like the like distant image.
Yeah.
Oh, the distant image. Yeah. And how disturbing is that?
It's probably about a 4.
Okay, good. And now just focus on the image and ask yourself what is particularly disturbing about it.
Oh, okay. What is it's just the way that it's my grandfather who came to visit, and it's the way he's treating my little brother.
And what in particular is he doing? Just, you don't have to tell us, but in your mind, just notice what in particular is really getting that disturbance up to a 4.
It's that he's holding him down and he won't let him. He's trying
to the bird feeder. Flash. Good. So tell me some more about the bird feeder and the birds.
Somebody must have just come because they all went at one time.
Flash.
Somebody must have walked by.
Do you change, is there a multi-course menu here, or do they always get the same food?
Yeah, good question. Because we go to a special bird feeder store, and we do.
Which according to Lewis, there are 4 million of them in the country.
And we actually buy the one that attracts the most birds up here in the highlands area. If we were down at the bottom of the hill, we would probably,
if you had a fancy restaurant, the menu would be different.
Exactly, would be different. We get a woodpecker if we put this suet out, which we put out sometimes, but we figured out one time how much you spend a year on these birds.
Flash.
Because when you fill up the 2 feeders, that they can eat that. 2 whole feeders will eat that whole thing in 3 days. Both of them.
Wow, Flash. Well, I'm going to give you some advice.
Okay.
Now that you've talked about your bird feeder on national webinar, international, and it's all about flash technique, you can deduct it.
Hey, that's okay. My foundation.
Don't tell anyone I said it, I'm sure I'll.
There you go.
Flash.
So my husband is out there right now filling up the bird feeders. I can see that he took one down, and they're all in the tree just waiting.
Flash.
How dare you?
We have the same thing with the neighbors' cats.
Oh,
Somehow they're not getting fed enough by their owners, so we end up putting out cans of fish for them. And they, they're looking around. You can see them far away, just peering. And then once we get that food out, they come galloping up.
exactly. That's nice. That's so nice of you to do that.
That's when they're not eating finches.
No, that's right.
That's when they can't get them.
Flash.
They're fast.
So tell me more.
Tell you more. Okay, let's see.
So, but it sounds like you do vary the seeds depending on what kind of what kind of bird it is.
What kind of birds we want to attract. So we get like about 8 different birds up here, but our friends down in the area we call the village, they live down in what we call the flatlands. They get bluebirds. The bluebirds are coming back. Did you guys know that? They thought they were extinct and they're here again.
Flash, the western bluebird, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that they're coming back. I didn't know that they were extinct.
They're almost extinct.
Oh, wow. You're thinking of blue jays. Bluebirds are different. Yeah. The blue jays, blue jays. These are little bluebirds.
Flash.
And they are so beautiful. So I got these worms because that's what they like. Live worms.
It's a spa, it's a spa.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a high-end restaurant with a menu. Okay. And so we bought these live worms. They weren't cheap. They were like $20 for a little thing of worms. And to try to
last 2 or 3 minutes.
If you get the right birds. So we were trying to get the bluebirds to come up here, and because we saw them down in the village, and so we put the worms. You have to keep them in the refrigerator, by the way. You have to keep the worms in the refrigerator so they stay dormant. But then when they get uncold, they start to wiggle around. And that attracts the bluebirds. So no bluebirds, but you know who came and ate them?
The crow.
Yes.
Flash.
And we don't need any more crows.
Right. You don't need more crows, and you don't have to spend $20 to get them either, right?
Exactly.
You need to post some flyers down below. Let them know where to go.
That's right.
Flash.
Craigslist.
Oh my God! You guys.
So take a break and check in again.
That feels like a 2 or a 1. I mean, that is down.
Mm-hmm.
That worked remarkably with the 5-year-old.
Mhm.
Right. So what is standing out now that's keeping it as much as a 2 or a 1?
I can't even picture it. Maybe it's a 0.
Yeah, it's a common interaction. Client says, "Oh, it's a 4." Well, what makes it as much as a 4?
And,
I
and
can't think of
sometimes
anything.
sometimes there's a reluctance to say something's a 0 because it was terrible behavior on your grandfather's part,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you kind of confuse your judgment and your upset, and your judgment doesn't change. It was still terrible behavior on grandfather's part, but it doesn't have to grab you anymore because
No.
it's been a long time. Your grandfather's dead.
So to show my age, here's a $64,000 question. What about your ex-husband?
My ex.
How disturbing is that?
That's like not disturbing at all.
Okay, and now here's the
Yeah,
$128,000 question.
what do you want, a miracle? God.
What about your son?
daughter, daughter,
Daughter.
Daughter, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Erica. I'm having a hard time picturing it too.
Mhm.
I mean, I can make it because, I can make it happen, but right now I feel like it's not happening.
So how do you know you can make it happen?
Well, because I can start visualizing what she was going through when she was
Yes. She was what?
she was going through when she was dying.
Yeah. And how
It's not like,
disturbing is it now?
well, it's definitely down. Listen, you and I got it down to a 7 when I worked with you personally. And then I would say right now
That was a single session, right?
that was a single session. Well, so was this point. I would say it's like at a 4.
Uh-huh. So what makes it as much as a 4?
That she could that she's that she was gonna die and I was never gonna see her again.
Yeah, so
Without, that was it. There was no hope. And that was gonna be it.
so let me just ask whether what's coming up now is loss.
Yeah.
So, and loss is different than helplessness.
Yeah. It's not helplessness.
No,
Feel
so
helpless.
what about the helplessness?
That's gone.
Okay.
It's gone. It's like not even there.
Yeah.
Right now it's just like the loss I always feel, but I usually don't cry anymore very much. But
Well, I'm just guessing that the helplessness was keeping you from completing grieving.
oh God. I'm so glad you chose me today. Thank you everybody for being so patient.
Oh, you've been doing great.
It's a wonderful demonstration because of all the complex
Yeah.
asthmatic bridges.
And we had some good laughs.
So let me say that if we had more time,
Yeah.
we could also address the grieving.
Yeah.
And the way that I would do that is by have you picture her here with you today, and then start to tell her all the ways that you've missed her and anything that you didn't get to tell her when she was alive. And that is usually really, really helpful to facilitate the grieving
Thank you. And thank you to everybody else too.
You're welcome.